Welcome to today's episode here at the Masculine Health Solutions podcast. And today we're going to talk about what a decon break is, how you can use it to your advantage, and just breaking down how it relates to PE. All right, guys, let's get into it. What is happening, gentlemen? I hope everybody has had a fantastic summer. I'm not just going to completely disregard the fact that obviously there's still COVID craziness all over the place and that unfortunately, it kind of rears its ugly head up every now and again, but it is what it is, and I'm not here to talk about all that. But I will say this, and I'll give you kind of the background as to why I decided to take a decon break myself. With the craziness that was going on, and obviously me, I work, I got my clients, I got people, I got different things that I got to take care of on a daily basis, right? And for me, the biggest thing though was work, where it's kind of like, hey, you know what, we really need you to come in, work a whole lot of extra hours, and I'm doing insane hours right now, right? And I'm still trying to make sure I go to the gym. I started my carb cycle as well, so I want to make sure that I am doing my meal prep appropriately, right? And anybody that's dieted down knows all about how meal prep is probably one of the most time-consuming, but probably the most important factor into anybody that wants to either lose weight, put on muscle, or just, optimize their health, right? And regardless of what you're after, meal prep, and for me, nutrition is by far the most important thing that we as humans should be paying attention to. A lot of us disregard it, and that's probably why a lot of us are as fat and unhealthy and not in the greatest physical condition. It all comes down to nutrition at the end of the day. Working out is pretty much just the cherry on top. I'm not going to say that it's not important, and obviously if you want to put on big time muscle, it is completely necessary. But meal prep, man, it has been taking up a lot of my time, right? Along with the fact that I'm still at the gym, I'm still trying to go 5 days a week, and I'm still trying to do my cardio, making sure that I get all my sets in. I don't want to be out of shape. And it's just one of those things that I am not going to let go. So I told myself, I do not have enough time to do PE, at this juncture of my life. Like it's just not happening, right? So I decided to take a decon break, right? And that was about a week ago, right? And it just kind of came down to the fact that, hey, summer is just a little bit too hectic for me right now for me to dedicate, an extra, about 6 hours to PE a week. I just don't have the time to do that. And with everybody's schedules kind of coming together because it's summertime, it's been impossible for me to really, get the workouts that I want in, right? I'm not one to ever, go into a PE session half-ass it. For me, there's no point if you're just going to kind of go through the motions and not be fully involved. Like, I want to make sure I have the correct amount of time, the appropriate amount of time that I need, along with, the privacy that I need, right? And that being said, that is something that's definitely factored into me making this decision to taking a decon break, right? So I just went, what? Let's see where I'm at right now. And obviously I am paying attention to certain things to make sure, I'm not losing the gains that I've made, right? So I decided to take a decon break, right? So what is a decon break? A decon break is just basically a deconditioning break, right? So a lot of people will do this in bodybuilding as well, where it's kind of like, okay, I feel like I pushed my arms right to the limit. I'm going to take a little bit of a decon break. The whole purpose of it is to decondition that muscle, right? We all get to a point where, you may plateau, and the best thing that you could possibly do is take a little time off from it, right? In this case, I'm going to take about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, right? I'm probably going to go for the full 2 weeks and just, not worry about it, right? Give it a rest and just see where I'm at as far as cemented gains, right? And one of the best things about taking a decon break is that it will reveal where you're truly at. It'll show you what your cemented gains truly are, right? And I'm just like everybody else, and I know sometimes, it's like, I'm going to measure my girth, but I'll get a quick pump in. And I'll be, all right, cool, I made some gains, and I'm not going to lie, we all get a little bit overzealous when it comes to our workouts, and a lot of us, we're so conditioned to just constantly working out and and doing our PE sessions every day that sometimes the best thing for us can be to take a step back. Obviously, I'm not saying completely neglect PE or just say, I'm going to take the next 6 months off. I think that would be detrimental to your gains. And I think gains are slow and steady. But I think at times, just in every other facet of life, we sometimes need a break from it, right? And deconditioning is just that. And I've done it in the past, and I've noticed that I have made gains when I've come back to PE, right? And at that time, all I was doing was using an extender. So, I just quit using the extender for a bit. I just gave myself some time off. And when I resumed, I just went back to using my extender and threw in some stretches, right? I didn't do it intentionally, thinking about, I'm going to do this to make length gains. But more than anything, it was just to give myself, time to recover is what I felt like more than anything. But in doing so, I noticed that my gains, my length gains did go up. And I paired it up with jelqing. And I almost just threw a new stimulus at my penis that had been conditioned to doing the same thing over and over and over again. So combining, a new workout program, a new workout regimen, along with coming out of a deconditioning break really helped to spur my gains forward. And I think it's something that we should all do, Everybody needs that time to just kind of recover. And more than anything, I think it's the mental aspect too. Sometimes we need to just kind of unplug ourselves from doing the same old over and over again. I do know that consistency is the key to success. Like I said before, consistency, time, and just kind of that slow approach is honestly what's going to garner you the best gains, right? There's no other way around it. You're not going to make gains quickly. Physical development, usually isn't quick. Whether you're putting on fat, putting on muscle, losing fat, or, it's always something that kind of just progresses with time. There are certain things that can accelerate that process, right? But it's something that generally requires time when it comes to physical development in any which way, or obviously things that aren't very good physically, but, they're just happening. And it's just important to recognize that at times we just got to give ourselves a break. Give yourself a little bit of breathing room. Give yourself some time to maybe just recover from, 6 months of going hard, hanging or something, right? So it's something that just allows your body to recover. It also gives you a great vantage point to really take a look at where you truly stand. You haven't done any stretch exercise. You haven't done any jelqing. You're not training at all, and it'll really help to tell you where you truly stand, right? So it's definitely something to pay attention to, guys, and it's definitely something you could implement into your program. If you feel you've been going hard for, 4 months and you're kind of just at a point where you're like, hey, man, I'm stressed out, right? And I'm just, it's kind of starting to get wishy-washy. If you don't want to stop your PE sessions, the first thing that I would recommend is, maybe just switch up your workout. And even if you're going strictly for length, hey, man, throw in some girth workouts as well. DLD talks about how, just getting or just reaching the maximum amount of volume, by combining length and girth is always beneficial, right? And I do believe that in throwing in a new stimulus, your penis is going to react positively, right? It's like when I first started hanging again, after not doing it for a while, man, I noticed that my nocturnal wood was through the roof. And I woke up every day with super hard on, right? Super erect. And that's an awesome, positive physiological indicator that I was moving in the right direction. But what happens with any other exercise over time is your body just kind of adapts to it. It adjusts to it. And now you're not getting the same, physiological indicators that were showing up before, right? And sometimes, and this is why I'm bringing this up, is that we get negative physiological indicators. And some guys may think, hey, you know what, if I just go even harder, I'm just gonna add more stimulus and I'm just gonna make the length of the workout longer. Sometimes that is not good, right? And in doing so, you may just, you may be setting yourself up for an injury. What I'm suggesting is take a week off, man. 1 week will not kill you. And you're definitely not going to lose your gains in a week. Definitely. And I know that maybe your gains may not be cemented, but sometimes you give yourself a week off, 2 weeks off. I'd say max 3 weeks off. I don't want to go too long without doing it, right? But that being said, you are going to have cemented gains. And when you come back, it's going to be almost like it's brand new when you start doing these penile exercises again, right? When you start doing PE again. And you may just bust through some plateaus that you thought, hey, I'm stuck and I probably won't make any more gains. And then boom, you're like, okay, I'm going to start again. Start fresh. Start building that foundation up. And you may just bust through plateaus faster than you think. So deconditioning or taking a decon break is always something that's beneficial, right? And just pay attention to how you feel. If there is retraction, I would highly suggest, slapping on the extender, the ADS, and making sure that, yes, you're deconditioning, but always using, maybe if you want to throw in some passive PE, why not, man? It does not hurt. Passive PE, like I said before, is one of the most important concepts and one of the most important things for healing up and keeping your penis in an elongated state. Yes, it may be artificial because you got something on that's forcing it to stretch, but that being said, eventually that will be, your set point. That will be the norm for your penis. And obviously, we just got to keep working towards it by putting in more time, right? And even if you're in a decon break and you just slap on your extender, it does not hurt. I'm not saying there's any set rules or regulations to how a decon break should go. I'm just saying that the most important thing here to pay attention to is that you're giving your penis some much deserved time off, And as far as the length goes, you can go, I'm myself, I'll probably go 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks max. Because I do enjoy PE. PE is my thing, and unfortunately I'm not in a position where, I'm really able to do as much PE as I want right now. But that being said, I'm going to take advantage of that and just have a decon break, man. And as far as, the length of times that you can do a week to a month, man. It's ultimately up to you. But obviously, you do run the risk where a lot of guys are just like, you know what, maybe this PE stuff isn't for me, and they'll go for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then boom, they're like, you know what, I want to start over again. I was making some good gains and yada, yada, yada. So what I recommend is that take a decon break if you feel that it's time to decondition your penis a bit, and give yourself, write down the time that you are going to stop, and then write down the time that you decide to start. That way you have made almost a contract with yourself that right, that this is the time that I have decided to give myself, and I will then begin after this time is now over. Like a short period of time, a short block of time, right? Because sometimes it is slippery, and I understand. I'm just like everybody else, guys. Everybody's busy. We all got lives. It's not like I got, all kinds of free time to dedicate to PE. Sometimes it's not the biggest priority, guys. And if you are in a position in where you can prioritize it, hey, man, you are blessed, right? But I know a lot of guys and a lot of the dudes that I talk to are very, very, very busy as well, which is why I always err on the side of, hey, why not do some passive PE and, 45 minutes to an hour if you got that a day, right? But that being said, it's important to decondition yourself every now and again. If you do feel you're hitting a plateau, you can totally decondition. If you just feel you need that time off, or you're going on a vacation, a lot of guys stress out. They're like, hey, man, should I bring a cock ring? Should I bring my pumps? I'm like, no, man, just take the time off. And, I believe that whenever you want to develop yourself physically, you should always take that holistic approach. And a holistic approach involves being completely stress-free. You don't want to be stressed out on vacation, like, okay, I got to go upstairs for a bit. I'll meet you downstairs in a bit, guys. It's not something that you necessarily want to be hanging on to if you're, on vacation. If you're on vacation by yourself, well, that's a whole different bag of worms. Man, you can do whatever you want if you're by yourself, right? But for myself, I'm just saying the only thing that I may bring on a vacation is a cock ring, maybe, But even then, it's just kind of like you got to take the time to just de-stress. You got to take the time to just let your mind just wander, man. You got to just relax and take advantage of the fact that, hey, this is summertime after all. For many of us, I know not all of us here, but for many of the guys that listen, this is summertime. It's a time to relax. It's a time to just, live stress-free for a bit. Because come September, for a lot of us, it's going to be, the same old routine. And the same old routine is good because we are still able to adhere to the programs that we have, or, just continue down the path that we've probably been walking for a while, right? Which is a good thing, right? You do want to make sure that you're sticking to your program. But that being said, it's always good to decondition. And pay attention to your physiological indicators as well when you're in a deconditioned state, right? So let's say you haven't done any pee for 2 days. Do you feel that you are retracted? Do you feel that, your flaccid hang is a lot shorter? Do you feel that your girth has gone down? How do you feel mentally, physically? Nocturnal wood. Are you, paying attention to all that stuff? It is something to keep in mind, right? Because if you start seeing that you got some serious retraction going on during a decon break, I would highly suggest, you slap on the extender, ADS, all that. If you do feel that you want to sneak in a pump, maybe 2-3 sessions in your decon break and you just write it out, man. Why not? Anything that's passive is going to be good, but you don't want to overdo it in a decon break. That's all. Like, you just want to make sure that you give your penis enough time to decondition, heal up, just rest, relax, and get ready for the next regimen that you have planned out, right? But that's pretty much it, guys. And I'll update you guys on how the decon break is going, and I'll just keep you posted. Until then, take care, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. If you guys got any more questions, concerns, or anything, let me know at masculinehealthsolutions.com. Hit me up, visit the website. All right, guys, stay safe, and until the next episode, I will talk to you then.